Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be exploring this workshop and kind of waiting a few more days until the actual bans kick in for Arena. So if you haven't heard, Agent of Treachery is banned, Fires of Inventions banned. Companions get a little bit of a makeover in terms of their power level. Now there's now three generic man attacks on them if you want to put them into your hand, but otherwise, that's for the most part. I won't be discussing those, but I will be waiting to see how the meta evolves until then. So let's take a look at a few quote unquote draft decks. So the last one, last one, I did say quite a few harsh things about their version of cycling, but we got some better ones here. So let's start with the four color one. And from the looks of it, it's main green. Quite a bit of good stuff. There are a good number of cyclers to fix things up. Otherwise, it's standard mutate, just with a hint of massive flexibility. Now, would I personally run this kind of four color? Only if I open Giganta. That's pretty much it. I would not try this otherwise. That said, yeah, this is essentially just four color mutate. So we are gonna be focusing on hitting at least a early two drop. So between our one drops and two drops, we have quite a bit of early play, and we'll see how that one goes. Which is kind of weird because we have like quite a bit of enter the battlefield tap land, so bit of pushback there. The humans deck is a lot more straightforward, so lots of cheap removal. We got two copies of Blood Curdle, which is very great. Good number. A good number of early creatures that our opponent has to deal with. Swallowhole is actually a great fit for this one. So Night Squad Commando, Day Squad Marshal. We got one each of the good and common, so this is probably the deck to beat for me, as in this is the one that I'd say takes the cake. Also, having checkpoint officers in case our opponent does go tall on one big creature helps a lot too. And then finally we have the Vigilance deck, which I'll be honest, never came to my radar. Sure, basically taking the 1/4 Vigilance instead of the 3/1 is kind of one of the payoffs. Otherwise, it's basically, well, the Moss Code Goriak is a much better stomach. Otherwise, this is Vigilance slash Mutate. Very plausible. Very plausible. You gain quite a bit of life to buy some time, but my money's still on humans, if you ask me. So that said, we will start with the humans deck because that's probably the one I'm gonna enjoy the most. Now, personally, how the bans affect me? Well, the auto inclusion, the inclusion of Yorion in the Orzhov deck I've been using for the most part. Still relatively okay, but I may have to consider putting a lot more early game removal. I might actually have to put in Cry of the Carnarium for that matchup, which not too happy with doing. But the fact that I won't be able to take advantage of Yorion blinking sagas at the right time is also a concern. So that then again, the deck is probably gonna change out significantly after Zendikar Rising. So we might it might not have that much long to do anyway. So turn one Whisper Squad, very good. And okay, I'm definitely keeping this one. I don't think we'll be removing anything anytime soon. I'm not spending the Swallowhole on an Almighty Brush. Maybe I might. Opponent has Ram True. I'm trying to remember if our opponent has pumps. No, main serval. I might actually just nuke the main serval. That's probably gonna be the more annoying of the two creatures. I could also just wait for our opponent to... We have a third one, so I can wait on that. Yeah, just pass the turn for now. I'm gonna wait for our opponent to actually mutate onto this. Only because the only two mutate creatures I remembered seeing was the Liger and... Okay, didn't take some early hits. Okay. So that's the last of our Whisper Squad, so no point for me holding that up. I'll just play the Checkpoint Officer and the last Whisper Squad. Oh yeah, there is a problem here. The opponent's creature has to be tapped. Not happening here, so I can kind of do it with the Brushwag. Or I might have to combo with Checkpoint Officer. Not a bad play. I will accept that. So no blocks. Take the hit. See if our opponent pumps. Opponent could pump. Opponent could actually just pump and ram through. Oh, no, can't. Well, we'll take the hit for now. There's a Blood Curdle. We can save for that one. So here's what we're gonna do. Tap this one down. Swallow whole. Target tap creature. Tap an untapped creature. Submit that. Now we're gonna take a few early hits, or at least try to start incentivizing our opponent to start only because we drew the Blood Curdle. If we didn't draw the Blood Curdle, I probably would. Okay, there's a very good Blood Curdle target. We'll take one hit. Opponent considering to ram through. Oh, Blood Curdle don't. Call of the Death Dweller. Not too bad either. But we're definitely blood curdling this one. This is... full Menace counter and the Whisper Squad that we've pumped. And with that, we slightly caught up. We're now just effectively just using Checkpoint Officers to clear the way. Opponent has pacifism. Okay, that's fine. We don't have... Yeah, we don't have a way to sack stuff, so that's a bummer. Okay, there's just another Swallow Full. Let's wait for a better target. Also, our opponent's pretty much playing creatures 1:1 so far, so I guess we can bank on that. Yeah, definitely tapping this one. It incentivizes our opponent to cast another creature. Main Serval. Probably has a better payoff than that. I really don't think our opponent could also try to mutate. Mutate on Auricorn. Perfect. We swap. Opponent gains some life. We'll swallow that one up. Let's put down the Whisper Squad here. So guess we can tap swing. No, let's wait. We used up most of our removal. We're down to a Divine Arrow and another Blood Curdle, if I'm not mistaken. Not hitting any of our payoffs. Master Liger. Not mutating it though, so we will tap that. So we now need to keep holding up double white. Hold on, this is even. So I guess we can just go with the Lava Brink Adventure. So pass the turn. We can tap the Liger with the Checkpoint Officer. Yeah, literally it's just checkpoint. Okay, opponent opponent ran out of gas at that point. Also, Ramtrue is even, so that helps us too. So there you go. And that was without actually drawing any of our uncommon payoffs. So I'll take that. So let's try the vigilance deck. See how that one turns out. So how would I play the vigilance deck? Definitely want to get early aggro. I'm really... Yeah, we don't have much in the frontline Felidar is pretty much a removal. The hunt... So we definitely want an heavy early game. We want to put a lot of pressure on our opponent as much as possible. So this is good. Turn 2 main serval, turn 3 Goriak or Capridor. Opponent playing the 4-color deck. Actually got turn 1 Adventurous Impulse too. I'll take that. So I will take another land though, because opponent's playing 4-color. Main serval. So our opponent's removal suite has quite a... that one I did not quite pay attention to, so I need to be careful. Opponent going for Trumpeting Gnar. Ooh. Okay. So I'm actually gonna drop the Mosscoat Goriak here. Creates 2 bodies for our opponent to... Okay, there you go. So I'm now tempted to hold up the Blade Banish because our opponent is bound to... Also, there's no great benefit to mutating the Majestic Auricorn quite yet. Not on these guys. So, you know what? Flying. Maybe our opponent does have removal. In that case, I don't mind our opponent sniping the squirrel. No attacks. We're really waiting for our opponents. There's the Ramtrue, so that's 1 piece of removal. Okay, got that out of the way. Opponent doing Farfinder, finding extra mana. So our... Yeah, probably could have played Stormwild Capridor. It would have dodged the Ramtrue. So next turn is just mutate on the Capridor. I'm really just waiting for our opponent to cast to mutate onto the Trumpeting Gnar. There you go, Starix. Ooh. Definitely good Blade Banish target, but does our benefit not quite benefit? We will probably take 6. Okay, also got solid flipping. Hold on. Rash, actually creature as long as it has vigilance. Oh, that's it. That's an interesting setup. So definitely sniping this one first. Now the next thing we could do is I can actually just... No, our opponent probably suspicious, but you know what, let's go for it. Let's see how our opponent blocks. Okay, so I have to choose between losing this or... Okay, I blocked it wrong. Yeah, I should have gone to block this one first. Well, looks like we are... Oh wait, no. Because it deals damage equal to its toughness. That's a good trade. That is a worthwhile trade. And it does have a... Okay, so we lose the Oracle. Sad. I guess I'm swinging now. Does this have Menace? It has Menace. Oh, yikes. So I guess we're holding back for now. Yeah, that was a... Yeah, that puts a dent on... That puts a dent on plans. opponent signaling that they have some sort of removal at one card, we'll go for it. Almighty Brushwag. 5-6. Oh yeah, that's not. I forgot all about that. And we're now drawing way too much. Yeah, missing that Auricorn was annoying. So we're gonna take each. We'll do this one again. We kind of have to learn about this. Did I have a chance to snipe the? Not quite. No, I did not have a chance to snipe the Brushwag that time. Yeah, that's game. So yeah, let's do this one again. We now learned better. So we definitely want to. What was my mistake? I probably should have just yeah, leaving ourselves down to that one card. We needed that Auricorn. Also, that was a horrible block. I probably but I couldn't just keep taking damage. Yeah, I was dead either way in that one. So this one, we get to mutate. Buy some we get to cycle mutate. We got one shot cycle. We get to cast main serval. Let's keep this one. We got our best payoff. Okay, pacifism not pacifism not great for us. Well, actually depends, because not great if we have to go through this one, because our opponent could just keep mutating on top of it. Might be better for that guy. Well, depends. I could just wait on the pacifism. So let's see what our opponent chooses. Death Touch or Life Play. Chooses Death Touch. So now we can give our opponent a choice. If our opponent swings with both, I just snipe the Zagot Mamba. If our opponent mutates right away, well, probably not gonna mutate right away. If our opponent just attacks with the boot, no, it's not gonna even attack. Okay. So now this is gonna be interesting. Our opponent mutate. I should give our opponent in, because I'm about to draw. You know what? Let's give our opponent the option. If he wants to block with Boot Nipper and lose it, it's fine. If not, it's free. It's a free hit. So definitely mutating on top there. We will lose one Brushwag, which is fine. That's the price we pay. But we are definitely gonna pacify the Dreamtail Heron now. Opponent not swinging. Okay. Opponent can still draw cards. So Checkpoint Officer, actually very good. I'd rather have that over the fifth one. Okay, so now let's give our opponent choices. Opponent not taking the. Opponent probably plans to put something on top of the Boot Nipper, so definitely want to land the front land Felidar, but we also probably want to land another land as well. And then we draw the, and then we either draw the land or no. Opponent goes the ramp through. Okay, that's fine. So he burns the removal there, so that's. Opponent could have easily just. Wait, is this a fight? No, it's just direct damage, not fight. Go to combat. Wait, nope. I almost clicked the no attacks. So stop after attackers. And tap target creature. This time I'm not giving you a choice anymore. He might have another ram true. Opponent might actually be incentivized to attack now. Okay, lava sword. Okay, he's gonna definitely attack with that. We'll take that hit. So definitely going main serval number 2. So okay, man, I have to remember to put all these stops. So tap. So now we're blocking with enough damage, and we can kind of block again, tap block that one. Opponent's probably gonna go for this. Yeah, I figured that much. So in response, yeah, let's get that last use. Where to go? So having 2 copies of Ram True, okay, that's important. So now we need to. Opponent's down on cards, down to 1 card, but we are out of tappers. Stonewall Caprador. I'm actually gonna raid the checkpoint officer, raid the Caprador, and now incentivize our opponent to actually trade that Boot Nipper. Opponent is Essence Symbiote. No mutate quite yet. Okay, we'll take the hit. Draw another land. So the interesting thing is it's 4 to. It's just 4 to mutate, so I definitely want to mutate on top. Over. I'm swinging with these guys. Basically, yeah, that's the trade I want to have happen. Opponent chump blocks, that's fine. And so we just need to preserve the checkpoint officer against their lava circle and whatnot. Opponent is now drawing quite into lands. Let's just tap this anyway. Not like Vigilance, no reach. That's the good news. Opponent's Unbreakable Bond, bring back Boot Nipper. Wait, is that literally his only creature? Yeah, that was. I haven't been... So, I did take this out because of... This is instant speed, so we got that. So this has lifelink also. Probably should not have attacked with the main serval. Yeah, that was random and unnecessary. Cheville. Okay. I guess I could... No, that's not ram true that quite yet. Probably puts it on checkpoint officer because that's the one who can actually kill right now. Let's just make sure it doesn't go into combat. I can always tap down the lava serpent. I can also just ram through Cheville before he kills, so the bounty doesn't mean anything. Opponent could just mutate onto this one to, say, get the Zagot Mamba trigger. I would appreciate that, actually. He's probably gonna try to go for something clever. He will gain 2 life. So it's really a question of what does our opponent mutates that. Okay, so we need to do this first. First tap this one because I know this guy's gonna die. So he mutates. Let's say he can take out the checkpoint officer. Draws a card from the regular one. I hope. Yeah, because he's now put everything here, including the reach. So, yeah, that one pacifism did a lot of things. Opponent discarded that. Yeah, that would not have helped. If he has another piece of no, he did not. If our opponent had another piece of removal, I would have been so tilted. Well, not kind of tilted. Okay, so since it looks like everyone's doing this on 4-color deck, let's give that one a try. I'll be honest, I'm usually not a fan of multicolor, this many colors in draft, because you could randomly hose yourself in more ways than one. It's usually the case that you do it if you have like, if you drafted so many good rares. Here it's not quite that, so yeah, this would not be the candidate for 4-color draft for me. That's my personal opinion. But that said, it looks like with the right pieces, removal, right starters. Okay, so speaking of right starters, we got we're definitely not running Cheville too soon. Definitely keeping that. Oh yeah. Do I have Frost Kitty? Yes, I do. Forgot all about that. Definitely probably gonna cycle this one, I'll be honest. So, opponent is playing the humans deck, so we might need to run Cheville after all. We also got first go. And we got a very polite opponent, so let's say hello. Okay, opponent Whisper Squad. Because if our opponent's leading off on Whisper Squad, Cheville's so much more interesting. So, probably have to be careful about swinging with this one, especially if our opponent leads on white. There are 2 copies of Swallow Hole. There is a Divine Arrow. I might end up just swinging with Boot Nipper for the most part. I could also just draw the card now with the Ram True, but that feels not so great. Okay, I'm gonna play the Thieving Otter. It gives our opponents something to consider killing, especially if our opponents... Okay, remember, our opponent probably has Swallow Hole, so let's preserve the Cheville. Opponent did not activate. He could... Does our opponent have all 3... Oh, forgot. Yeah, that was your chance to activate it. Opponent might now play... Let's see, Bastion of Remembrance... Or was our opponent expecting us to... Okay, plays Lava Brink Venture. Now has to decide between odd or even. Chooses even, which is quite right for... Okay. Yeah, that's usually the problem. I can play Essence Symbiote. Okay, swing with Thieving Otter does nothing. Yeah, because the Ramtrue won't be able to target. Ramtrue can target this one just to draw me the other card. Bit premature to do this now. Because I can always yeah, choosing even. We do have one. let's just play the Essence Symbiote. So opponent probably just swings through with this one. Probably does not expect me to. We are okay swinging with boats. I want to see what. Okay, I chose wisely. Okay, got a nice. Okay, drew into another land. So definitely playing the Zagat Mamba. That's a good. No, that's a good candidate for Ramfu. So. Draw another card. And let's draw another card too while we're at it. Okay, so we're gonna try to see if we can. It's gonna take a while to mutate, so I might just play the Dismal Backwat. I could also play Monstrous Step. Opponent goes for the Blood Curdled. Yes, that's fair. We're not blocking this anytime soon, but opponent needs to decide if yeah, because I can technically block with. Oh, I can also block with Starix because it's. Oh, going all in, eh? So we can't ram through that. I can Monstrous Step just to punch a chunk of damage, but let's hold that for now. Let's play the Boot Nipper, Death Touch. Actually, I could have just chosen Life. I could have just chosen Lifelink. Boot. Opponent considering a way to remove that though. Let's keep taking the hits for now. Opponent not playing a creature. Do I want to just cycle this? No. Okay. Yeah, because let's say I could just swing with this. Just swing with this one. Put an inordinate amount of because we're not going to use this as removal spell. We're going to use Ramtru as the removal spell. Okay, we're just gonna start putting pressure. Opponent, I don't think has. No, it has flash. That was it. Basically, I'm shortening the clock. If our opponent has another Swallow Hole, I kind of want to incentivize them to use it. There's the Divine Arrow. Yeah, let's get the removal out of the way. So the sad thing is, our opponent can now Swallow Hole the Zagat Mamba, and we won't. Well, that'll be their last card if it is. No, opponent concedes. Bit premature, but no, I wouldn't say bit premature. I guess it's because they didn't quite hit their payoffs or whatnot. Anyway, so there we go. Actually doing quite well. That first loss notwithstanding. I'm so tempted to do another one, but as far as these decks go, yeah, I honestly would not have considered drafting the Vigilance deck. Most likely if I first pick the rare. That's pretty much the only consideration. None of these other cards yell out build around me in draft. So this is super rarity. In fact, it's a rare signal. It's not it's by no means an uncommon signal. You're not. Yeah, Alert Heat Bonder gaining life. That's not really much of a signal at all. Though there are some interesting ways to combo around it. The humans is definitely a signal build around. We have two uncommons that signal that you want to go into humans, and it's quite good even if you don't draft them, even if you don't get played them. Also, if you manage to bring your curve low enough, I only noticed now that we're only running 16 lands, so quite reasonable. In fact, we didn't need much of a top end at that point. the 4-color deck, this is the one that's most interesting. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're actually running 18 lands. Well, there are a bunch of cyclers, but for the most part, it's about getting things to come together. We were nowhere. We were just one step close to hitting auspicious Starix, but we were not getting around that close. So I don't. In fact, the monstrous step is the weird one, but that's it. I'm okay with it. It is plausible. Probably less colors. I would pretty much say Sultai is the best mutate colors around. I really don't think I would be playing red for Lava Serpent or Cloud Piercer. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. In a day or so, we will have a fresh new standard. Kind of fresh, but I kind of expect a lot of the old guard card decks to come back. So I'll probably test something around it. Until then, wherever you guys are, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and yeah, trust in the Lord that everything is going to turn out well. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe.